Hey, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I wanted to explain inventory planning is a cash flow system. So most Amazon sellers get this wrong. So I will go through step by step from the problem till analysis and till delivering my end remarks on it. So without further delay, let's get started. So why inventory feels like a constant problem? This is one of the most common questions that can arise across Amazon sellers. So in this slide, I'm going to explain why it's a constant problem because inventory appears suddenly but start months earlier. So this problem might occur to you, to your brand very suddenly, but it's not. It's a month earlier problem. We need to analyze it from the start. And long lead times and poor forecasting create pressure. Most salary order emotionally, not strategically. The result in constant stress and uncertainty. So this is like a constant problem the Amazon sellers came across. I have seen it across multiple accounts that this is one of the most common issue that it arises across Amazon sellers. So they need to have a better forecasting. They need to have a better uh, taking decision strategies, and I'll explain others in my video. So here is some of the hidden cost of inventory mistake. So overstock, locks, cache, and limit flexibility. Understock kills momentum and ranking, and emergency reorder damage margins. These costs are rarely visible upfront. So these are the very hidden costs that came across uh, every brand. So if we overstock, then we have a cash flow problem. If it's understock, then we have a momentum and we have to emergency reorder, then it's will gonna damage our margins. So this is the most common issues. Next, we need to understand that inventory is not logistic. Inventory decisions are financial decisions. We need to consider it as a financial back into cash. And timings matter more than volume. Predictability matters more than aggression. So we need to understand that inventory is not a logistic problem. We need to understand some of the cash flow issues. If you have cash, then you can make or create or order more inventory, and then you can have much more rankings depending upon the market matrices. So this should be understand that this is not a logistic problem. We need to have an understanding of its having a decision where it's come under financial problems. Next, we need to treat inventory system. So let me explain it in my slide. That if we have a cash, then cash is coming in, then it's turning into an inventory, then we sell this inventory, and then we get out of the cash. So it's a complete circle from cash in till cash out, and we need to understand this much more better, and we need to plan it and forecast it. So it will create a less uncertainty, and it will amplify the risk to its minimum. And delay in this cycle creates stress. So if we have a delays, then absolutely there will be a lot of stress in it. Then how expert thinks about inventory. If I have a brand and I need to think about, so this would be my mindset. So I need to protect cash flow before chasing growth. So if it's like I have to overstock my inventory, then I'm gonna run out of cash, and my business will fail eventually. And I also need to use buffer to absorb uncertainty. Like if I need to order, then I need to have like some days of buffer, uh, so I can get the inventory on time. If some of the uncertainty happens, so that buffer should save us time. Then plan for delays and slowdowns. So there's also going to be delays in the inventory. They're also going to have some slow days. So also need to take those into the consideration. Then we need to have a stay liquid instead of perfect. So we need to be on top of our inventory. We need to know once when we are getting out of stock and when we need to get in stock. So we should know the timeline, and we should know the cash flows we have during, and with these matrices we can then analyze how much inventory is needed and when it will be needed. It does not have to be perfect, but we need to be on top of these things. These are very much important for the brand. Now, why seller get trapped? This is also some of the important thing that I wanted to discuss is that they chase sales without planning an inventory. They always say, okay, go for sale, make more money, make more money. But the problem, if you get out of stock, you lose your momentum and you lose your rankings. So now you have to reinvest on those rankings again. So they confuse growth with health. Health is important. If you have a good inventory health, Amazon will give you much more rewards and they will give you much sales. This is also one of the factor when it comes to growth. They react instead of forecasting. So we don't need to react immediately. We need to plan and we need to forecast our inventory for at least for a quarter. So we need to have a quarterly analysis of our inventory and plan it accordingly. And eventually runs out of cash. So if you don't go strategically with the sales, then you will get out of inventory and hence you do not plan it, then you will get out of cash. Then the real goal of inventory planning. So what is going to be the real goal of inventory planning? It's reduce surprises. We would like to not have surprises, and inventory surprises are a big surprises. So you will be having your brand can from the bottom go to the from top goes to the bottom. Then it increase predictability and it also protect cash flows and creating breathing room for growth. So these are four main goals of inventory planning, that it will reduce the surprises. So we'll have less uncertainty. It will increase the predictability and it will also protect the cash flows. Along with that, it will create a room for growth. So these are the important things that need to be considered by an Amazon seller for the inventory planning. Now, the next thing, and this is going to be my final thought, is that inventory planning determines freedom or stress. So you need to understand your inventory better so you can plan it accordingly, and it will remove the stress from the business and give you freedom. And hence you will also understand the cash flow accordingly because the whole business is setting on inventory and advertisement. The next thing is the treat it like a finance and not logistics. So we need to start treating it as a financial issues rather than a logistic issues. Then we have to create systems which will give us control. So one of the system would be to have a forecasting system, at least for quarterly forecasting system, which will give us freedom, which will give us control over the inventory, and we can betterly understand our cash flows. So this is it from this video. Let me know your thoughts, your in comments below, and I will try to answer all of your questions. So see you in the next video. It's Kavish Ali. See you in the next video. Bye.